political representation law?
No, he's an independent elected official, and I think generally the law encourages our elected officials to speak up on issues of public concern, especially, you know, his office is part of Douglas County government, and you know, I guess my top of the head reaction is that's just part of his job, is to give his honest opinion about how he thinks he may or may not be impacted by it.
Yeah, there is state election law which applies to both elected officials and non-elected officials. It applies to your board of commissioners, it applies to the assessor, it applies to the sheriff, and it's state election law. It applies to them, just like it applies to someone toiling in the assessor's office, or someone working on a road crew. There's state election law, and there's ethics laws that apply to them. You can't take a piece of county equipment home and work in your yard. So I don't know. I have not researched what the activity of your sheriff. I don't know if that what he's doing is something that might be that might be a violation or not. I do not know the answer to that. But there are election laws, and they do apply to it. So I assume that before he embarked on this conduct, he conducted a review and talked to the elections division. I don't know.
If you're concerned about that, the law is called, at the federal level, the Hatch Act. In Oregon, it's called the Little Hatch Act. And generally what that limits is elected officials speaking on public officials speaking on partisan issues. This is not a Republican or a Democrat sort of an issue. So I guess it's my opinion that the sheriff therefore has discretion.
I might have a slight different opinion on it, but I don't know the facts. But I think the law is that you can't, a public official cannot endorse a ballot measure on government time.
Right. Correct.
I think you need to check that. Don't clap, because I could be wrong. But I think that might be the law, and it might be well, and I'm assuming that the sheriff has done that. You can't use the government and the resources of the government to try to convince the voters to take a particular bent on a ballot measure. You just can't do it. And so, but he would be well advised to check that, because I know he's acting.
Okay, I guess the distinction I make is I think he has the right to speak.
Yes.
You know, and I think the question is different if he's using public resources. I agree.
On public time.
Yeah.
Okay, and just to clarify, there was a question that specifically says the sheriff tells us on TV that he will not be able to do his job. How is that? Have we clarified that that won't change? Or?
We have offered you our opinion as to this does not limit the sheriff. That would be our opinion if we were in an office and someone came to us. Now, if the sheriff has a different opinion, that's the sheriff's opinion. We can't do any better than that.